How's it going, wrestling fans? Thank you so much for dropping by today. I do appreciate you checking out the video. Today we will be talking about WWE Extreme Rules, which at the time of this recording is 2 days away. It is right now Friday afternoon, and the event, the pay-per-view, will be Sunday night. So there could be some stuff announced between now and then, some matches added, so we'll just go off of what we have. I'm not even sure of the pre-show. I looked on the website and I didn't see any pre-show match listings. So my guess is a couple of these will be on the pre-show. I don't have them in any particular order though, but let's just jump into it. We're going to start with the Cruiserweight Championship, Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese. I think this one's pretty easy. Gulak just won the championship. I don't see any way he loses it here, and I think that actually really hurts Gulak as well as the Cruiserweight Championship if he drops it so quickly. Gulak is one of those hard-nosed, hurt your opponent type people, so if he just loses it right away, it's really going to hurt him and the championship as well. Now, I don't really watch 205 Live too much, but I have seen him, Drew Gulak that is, on different programs. I think he was on NXT UK, he was in the Worlds Collide tournament, I believe. And of course, he was on the last pay-per-view, so I've seen him in a few different arenas, and he's impressed me every time. I'm actually growing into a big Drew Gulak fan myself. But I picked Gulak to retain his championship. Now up next, my other guess at the pre-show is going to be the Revival defending their Raw Tag Team Championship against the Usos. And don't have much to say about this one. Honestly, I don't really care. And that's sad because I love the Revival. I really like the Usos. I prefer the way the Revival handles things, I guess. But I don't have any investment in this match despite really liking both teams. And that is a testament to how poorly the rivalry has been booked to make me not care about a potentially good match between two teams that I like. It's insane that they were able to accomplish that. But I'm going to pick the Usos to win this match, as I just think it's time to reset the tag team division, and there's a lot of unknowns with the Revival. Are they staying? Are they going? What is going on with their booking? So I think, especially with Heyman taking over Raw, maybe we're ready to start anew in the tag team division, and the Usos are a great team to do that with. So that is probably the end of the pre-show. The first match I have on here then is Aleister Black versus Cesaro. Now, at least Cesaro's got a singles match at the pay-per-view, right? I mean, we haven't seen that in quite a while. It's just unfortunate that he is going to have to face Aleister Black, which I fully expect it to be a... let's see. I expect Black and Cesaro to be able to have the potential to have a classic match. However, I think they're going to have some restrictions on them, so we're not going to see, an NXT takeover quality match from these two, even though they are fully capable of it. And I wish they would be able to put that effort in, but I just don't see them getting the time to do so. If they do get the time, it could easily be match of the night. So I fully expect Aleister Black, though, to go over. I hate Cesaro has to basically be fed to somebody in his first singles pay-per-view match in a long time. But I think that's what we're looking at. Black takes the win here, and he gets pushed even further. Then I have the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley defending in a handicap match against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I don't know. This is such a weird yet consistent storyline on TV, which is just odd to me that they had consistency with something, and this is what we get with it. But anyway, I think Bayley is going to retain here. I think they're really setting up to have Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross, and Bayley winning could cause a rift between them, either by miscommunication or by interference, or not interference really, but somebody coming to help Bayley. Maybe that's something we could bank on, but I don't know. This match is weird to me, and it's hard to pick because it's just a weird match. But I think Bayley's going to retain, overcome the odds, and further the storyline with Bliss and Cross. All right, so up next, one of the two matches that I am just dreading at this show. We have Roman Reigns and The Undertaker versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. And I'm just not happy about this match. It's nice seeing The Undertaker back in the ring, but I'm not exactly thrilled to see him in a match. Now, a tag team match is smart for him. That way, Roman Reigns can do the majority of the work, and Undertaker can come in, get his spots, get his pops, and people are happy about that. The problem I have with this match is, out of these people, Roman Reigns, Undertaker, Shane McMahon, and Drew McIntyre, one of them doesn't belong, and that's Drew McIntyre. And that's because of how they have booked him to just talk a big game and do absolutely nothing with it. And so in this match, to me, he just needs this. He needs a win. Unfortunately, I see, and when I say win, I mean Drew McIntyre getting the pin, not Shane McMahon. And unfortunately, I see one of two things happening. Either Roman Reigns and Undertaker get the win by pinning Drew McIntyre, or Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre get the win by Shane McMahon getting the pin. And that just really crawls all over me, because Drew McIntyre, to me, just deserves so much better. Now, we do have a rumored Undertaker and Drew McIntyre match at SummerSlam, and one way to set that up would be for one to pin the other. I feel like it makes more sense for Drew McIntyre to pin the Undertaker rather than the other way around, because that way you have Undertaker maybe wanting revenge on Drew McIntyre, and if Drew McIntyre gets pinned, who cares? He's gotten pinned so many times the past several months. Why would anybody care? But I think, I'm gonna hope anyway, Drew gets the pin and maybe starts to turn things around for himself. So I'll go with Shane and McIntyre. Also because Shane just doesn't lose anymore. So until he loses, I'm not gonna pick against him. Alright, next up we have the United States Championship, Ricochet versus AJ Styles. And this is one that I have actually gone back and forth on. I felt like at first Ricochet retaining made a lot of sense. He just won the championship. He's been booked as this strong, yet he gets beaten down babyface, yet he still wins. And so it's easy to get behind him. It's easy to root for Ricochet. But then I thought about it, and I thought, AJ Styles just reformed the club, and it wouldn't make a lot of sense for them to, 2 weeks or so after they reformed, to then just have AJ Styles lose a championship match, especially when he has Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows to help him out now. So I think we actually see AJ Styles take the championship here, and due to interference, though, I don't think he's going to win just super clean. I think the only way right now you can take the championship off Ricochet is if AJ Styles wins by some interference or distraction or something. But I also could see Ricochet getting a flash pinfall win that WWE loves to do now, and the feud continue because it was a fluke victory or something like that. But anyway, up next we have Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley, and this one is even worse than Ricochet and AJ Styles. I've gone back and forth. I'll be honest, I don't know. Both make sense. Both need the win. It seems lately like Lashley, and lately I mean like the past month maybe, that Lashley is more important to WWE to get over. So I don't know. I'm just gonna go with Lashley. Why not? But I have no idea on that one. All right. Up next we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. Bryan and Rowan versus Heavy Machinery versus the New Day. And I kept trying to pick Heavy Machinery to win this match. I tried every way to justify it, to reason it out that they would win the championship, and I just couldn't do it. Daniel Bryan and Rowan are just doing too well in the tag team division. And honestly, if they lose the championship, I think as a tag team anyway, Daniel Bryan and Rowan do not continue. Maybe they continue to, like Rowan support Bryan in his matches, but as a tag team, I don't think they'll start chasing the championship again. I think they realize Daniel Bryan is somebody, when they need a division to get back on its feet, they just stick Daniel Bryan there, and he'll do that. And that's what they've done in the tag division, and it is recovering in large in part because of Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan's tag team. But if they lose, I don't think they stay together as a tag team. And so I think they retain just to continue their title reign, get some better stories going, even with a feud with Heavy Machinery. And the New Day don't really need the titles, and Heavy Machinery just aren't ready. So yeah, I'm going with Bryan and Rowan to retain there. Now the other match that I am dreading. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. Alright, so I'm going to keep this short because I've actually talked about this with some people already. I think I've said already twice. But I've talked about this, and every time I get into a rant, and I'm not going to do that. We're going to keep it short. No one wants to see this. No one asked for this, and no one really cares about this match, which is very unfortunate because I love Seth Rollins. Becky Lynch is really good. I don't dislike Baron Corbin. I think he's really good at what he does, which is getting under your skin. And Lacey Evans, I don't really care one way or the other. I don't dislike her. I think they all four would be much better if they weren't in this match and they had different programs for each participant instead of still locked into this feud where Corbin and Lacey Evans have lost repeatedly clean while challenging for the championship. It just doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't really want to see it anymore. But I'm going with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch to win that one. Then let's move on before I get all hot again. Now the WWE Championship. Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe. So I saved this one for last because this one has quite a few possibilities. Now, Kofi Kingston's had a really good championship reign. It hasn't been, spectacular or anything just because he's faced Dolph Ziggler about 500 times. But, he's been a fighting champion. You can't be mad about that. And he's won. He's won convincingly, usually. And then Samoa Joe just lost the U.S. Championship, and suddenly he's challenging for the WWE Championship. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But if anybody can do it, it's Samoa Joe, and pull it off. If anybody can do it and pull it off, it's Samoa Joe. Now, Extreme Rules, I don't really see a title switch at this match with SummerSlam coming up next month. Especially when you have such a matchup, it just makes sense for Kofi Kingston to me to retain. And so that's what I'm going to go with. I think Kofi Kingston retains his championship, but I don't think this rivalry is over. I think we definitely get a rematch next month at SummerSlam. And we might see Joe go over then. At least that's what I hope, because I love Samoa Joe. Now, maybe that's more fantasy booking than realistic booking, but I'm going to go with Kofi Kingston this month and Samoa Joe next month. Now, I do think Samoa Joe, if he loses, it'll probably be by roll-up, because that is his kryptonite. He cannot handle roll-ups, and then he'll lose it after the match and lay out Kofi Kingston. Now, interestingly, we could see something happen, and this is, again, going off in a fantasy booking thing. If they're determined to have Lesnar cash in at Extreme Rules, and Samoa Joe lays out Kingston, and then Lesnar comes in and cashes in and captures the championship, I wouldn't mind seeing Samoa Joe then choke out Lesnar, setting up a three-way rivalry for SummerSlam. Of course, if Lesnar's the champion, we know he would win that anyway and disappear until WrestleMania. But, that being said, I just want Samoa Joe to look good. Come on, guys. Help me out here. Alright, so that's all for WWE Extreme Rules. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment as well. Let me know what you guys think about Extreme Rules coming up and what you hope to see. I will be doing a review video the next day at some point. Hopefully I can sit down and do it pretty early, but we will be back then. So again, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you have a great day.